You think you're okay. You've got your routine, your comfort, your little escapes. You've built a life where nothing hurts too much, where nothing feels too hard, where everything is just manageable. And for a while that worked. You called it stability. You called it peace. You told yourself, this is what I wanted. But lately, there's a restlessness you can't name, a boredom that feels like grief, an ache in the middle of your chest that doesn't go away. And deep down, you're starting to realize, comfort isn't making you happy, it's making you disappear. 1. The illusion of safety. Comfort feels safe. You know what's coming. You avoid risks. You stay in the lines. You do what's expected. And on the surface, that looks like control. It looks like success. It looks like you're winning. But inside, you're stagnating, drying up, folding in on yourself. Because safety is not the same as aliveness. And the longer you stay in what's familiar, the more your world shrinks. You stop dreaming, you stop reaching, you stop feeling. And one day, you wake up in a life that looks perfect and feels empty. Because the truth is, comfort zones don't keep you safe, they keep you small. 2. Numbing becomes a lifestyle. You don't realize it's happening at first. You start choosing easy, fast, predictable. You watch instead of create. You scroll instead of speak. You say maybe later until it becomes never. And all the while, you convince yourself you're just resting, that you're being kind to yourself, that you're waiting for the right time. But what you're actually doing is avoiding life. You're trading discomfort for dissociation, risk for routine, growth for sedation, and slowly, you become a ghost in your own story. The worst part? No one notices, because you're still functioning, you're still smiling, you're still there, just not really. 3. Comfort kills hunger. Remember when you used to be hungry? Hungry to grow, hungry to explore, hungry to become more than you are? You used to be curious, brave, willing to look foolish. But comfort numbed that hunger. It made you settle for convenience. It made you afraid to want too much. It made good enough feel like the goal. And now you avoid discomfort like it's danger. You stay silent instead of speaking your truth. You procrastinate instead of leaping. Because wanting more would mean risking what you have, and you're terrified to lose even this. 4. But hunger is not the body keeps the score. Hunger is life reminding you that you're meant for more. But your body doesn't. Your body remembers every risk you avoided, every truth you swallowed, every creative impulse you suppressed. It remembers how you traded fire for comfort, purpose for predictability, movement for numbness. And it shows up as that ache in your back, that tightness in your chest, that dull fatigue that never leaves. It's not laziness, it's spiritual claustrophobia, because you weren't built to shrink. You were built to stretch, to grow, to move. And the longer you ignore your body's signals, the louder they'll become, until one day, you confuse comfort with burnout, and you no longer know the difference between rest and surrendering to death while still breathing. 5. Relationships built on avoidance. Comfort doesn't just affect you, it affects who you let in, and how deep you let them go. You stay in relationships that don't challenge you, that don't see you, that don't ask anything of you, because it's easier. It's safe. It keeps things light. But light isn't the same as real. Polite isn't the same as connected. And silence isn't the same as peace. You avoid conflict. You avoid depth. You avoid truth. Because truth might change things. Truth might cause tension. Truth might break the illusion. But truth is where love lives. And if you never leave your comfort zone, you will never feel what it's like to be fully seen and loved anyway. 6. Comfort as a form of self-betrayal. This is the hardest part to admit. Sometimes, comfort is self-betrayal. Because you know what you need to do. You know what's calling you. You know the version of you that's buried under fear. But you keep saying, not yet, maybe later, tomorrow. You keep pretending the ache will go away on its own, that life will change for you without you having to move. But that's not how it works. Change demands discomfort. It demands courage. It demands grief. You will have to let go of things that once made you feel safe, and that will hurt. But so does staying where your soul is suffocating. 7. The myth of permanent peace. You've been sold a lie, that the goal is to finally arrive, to find a version of life where nothing hurts, nothing's uncertain, nothing's hard. That if you optimize enough, heal enough, manifest enough, you'll reach the summit and never have to climb again. But that version of peace doesn't exist. Because life is movement, you will always be asked to shed, to evolve, to rise, not because you're broken, but because you're alive. The peace you're craving isn't in arriving. It's in the ability to walk through fire without forgetting who you are. It's not comfort. It's clarity, presence, courage, and none of that grows inside a cage of false safety. 8. The soul's revolt. Eventually, your soul will rebel. It will get louder, more restless, more disruptive. You'll start to feel it in strange ways. You'll get irritated by things you used to tolerate. You'll cry for no reason. You'll feel like you're losing your mind, but you're not. You're just waking up. Your soul is shaking the bars of the comfort zone you've called home for too long. It doesn't want easy. It doesn't want safe. It wants real. And it will keep pushing until you finally listen. Because staying in comfort isn't sustainable. Eventually, it starts to feel like dying slowly. So maybe this is your moment. Not a breakdown, not failure, not some cosmic punishment, but a threshold. A quiet knock on the inside of your chest saying, you can't keep living like this. You're not being asked to burn your whole life down. You're being asked to stop abandoning your own soul in the name of what's safe, to stop silencing your hunger, to stop folding yourself into smaller versions just because they're easier to manage. You've spent years calling it peace, when really, it was just pause. A pause on your becoming, a pause on your truth, a pause on your aliveness. And now, you can feel it in your spine, in your breath, in that voice that won't shut up anymore. The part of you that wants to scream, I'm still here, I'm not done yet, I want more. More depth, more truth, more risk, more you. So here's the invitation. Don't chase chaos, don't seek pain, but also don't let comfort steal your life. Because every time you choose silence over truth, every time you say later to what matters now, every time you stay where your soul is suffocating, a part of you dies a little. And you were not born for slow death. You were born to move, to stretch, to leap, to feel. So no more shrinking, no more waiting for the right time, no more making peace with a cage you built just because you learned how to decorate it. Tear it down, not recklessly, but honestly. Strip back the illusions, return to your edges. Let yourself shake, let the fire in, let it burn away the numbness. Let it touch the parts of you no one else can reach. Let it whisper through your bones. You're not tired, you're underused. And the second you stop choosing ease over expansion, comfort over courage, fear over fire, you'll remember, you were never meant to live inside a padded, curated, silent life. You were meant to erupt, to risk, to love, to wake up. So let the fire come, not to destroy you, but to resurrect you. And when it does, don't run, don't flinch, don't close the door. Stand still, breathe deep, and say, finally, I'm ready now. I choose life. Because in the end, it's not about how much you avoided, or how still you sat, or how many moments passed safely by while you waited for the right time. It's about whether you let yourself be moved, whether you said yes to the fire that called your name, whether you let go of the version of yourself that only knew how to survive, and became someone who knew how to live. You will not remember how clean your cage was. You will remember the moment you stepped out of it. The second your foot touched the ground, the wind hit your skin, and you realized, this is life, this is mine, and I want all of it. Not just the soft parts, not just the safe parts, but the wild, the burning, the real. Because to choose comfort forever is to die before you're dead. And you're just getting started.